Alright guys, it's Catharines Production 72 and welcome to another edition of collecting the complete saga in LEGO. If you're unfamiliar, this is my series where I'm collecting all the playable characters from LEGO Star Wars The Complete Saga. This series includes real minifigures, for example Greedo, as well as many custom minifigures, for example Kit Fisto there. And in this episode, if you've been watching the last few, you'll notice immediately we have a new stand. So I decided wanted to redesign it, right? I wasn't too sure what direction I wanted to go in with the stand, and I was looking at a few people who were doing similar stuff, maybe with other video games or whatever, but, I found this one that I quite liked. The idea is it's kind of the same as the old one, it's steps, but it's like the steps are high enough that you can see every character individually. Like, for example, like you want to be able to see all of the really rare Super Battle Droid, the blue one, but he's being blocked by the Tusken Raider. It's things like that. And, there's a few where it really annoying, like, you couldn't individually see Akbar, the Death Star Trooper, or Shock T, so I redesigned it. Also, I'd like to point out, yeah, no, I've not made an episode of this for about 3 weeks, but for the most part in January, this will be what you get, is these episodes. And, I'm looking to maybe get possibly 2 out a week. At least for a little while, because I have got a lot of figures in that can do that. I know I mentioned in previous episodes as well that we had ran out of official minifigures to do with these. Well, I've picked up 4 of the remaining ones I need. There's like maybe 1 or 2 more. I think the 2 that I am missing is the Gonk Droid and the Droidica. But I've got 2 minifigures here. Both came from the same set back in the day. But, it'd be kind of cool to add these 2. These have been ones I've been looking to get. So let's get over to the table and check out which ones I've picked up. I do apologise for any coughing. I've not been feeling too great lately. But anyway, you join me over here at the table. So, like I said, I picked up some more figures that are official ones. These 2 come from the exact same set back in 2006. I don't think there's really any sets that came out after 2006 that would qualify, their figures to be in this video. But we'll start off with the one that I would say is the least cool out of the 2, and then go from there. So, one of these characters you will 100% remember as playing. The other one I didn't realise was a playable character. So, starting off, we have Dengar. So, this is Dengar from the 2006 Slave 1, which I think is set 6209. And that was like the first Boba Fett's one to look normal. Anyway, pretty cool minifigures. Got that big blaster. You would have played as him in the bounty hunter missions that you can do from the cantina. Got a really big long blaster, which looks really nice. Classic Lego look. Underneath, he just has a smiley head, which is kind of funny because, he has that kind of... Yeah, he has that bad guy look through the ninja piece that he has. And, that is something I really do like about this minifigure. Early Lego Star Wars just had things like this. Now, there's probably going to be someone who comes into the comments and says something like, oh, by the way, those clips are removed in the final game or something. I don't care. But, it's a really nice looking minifigure. Very happy with this one indeed. There's no back printing underneath that. So what you see is what you get kind of minifigure, and I really am happy with it. And that's the character you'll remember as playing as. You can access him through the bounty hunter missions, and, Dengar's iconic for being in Empire Strikes Back. But here's the other figure. So the other figure we have, I forgot you could play as in the game. But, there's a few minifigures, I'll admit, in this series I've come across, and I didn't realise you could play as that. But here we have the Bespin Guard, also from that set. Like I said, this minifigure is cool, because, it's one of those few early ones, I'd say 2006, they'll count as early-ish Lego Star Wars, with arm printing, I really do like that, and that's pretty cool on either side. He's also got the smiley kind of demeanour. He's got the kind of old school kind of cap that like the bad guys in Lego Indiana Jones also had. Really nice looking minifigure. Very happy with this one. Love the classic Lego, classic Lego blaster. Brilliant minifigure. So these 2 are just ones that I kept forgetting to pick up, and one of which I didn't even realise was playable. These are pretty cool minifigures. They've been picked up for around, I think, the same each. So for the Bespin Guard, I think I was around 16. For Dengar, I was about 12. Because I know some people were mentioning to me on here and on live streams that when they were watching this, they wanted the prices and stuff brought up. So that's roughly what that is. No, they look really good. Very happy to get these on. Let's put them onto the stand. But, it's a nice little collection of minifigures. I had been debating buying the set for a while, and I kind of landed on I'll just buy the minifigures, because I probably, if I'm likely to pick up a Slave 1, it's, for Boba Fett, it'll probably be the 2010 one. So let's get them on the stand. All right, so let's get them on the stand. There's a few things sitting in front of the sounds like the, hoverboard from Back to the Future. So Dengar goes down here in front of the Imperial officer. Looks rather nice. The other bounty hunter and the Force Ghosts actually sit there. And the Vespin guard, he goes right here in front of Mace Windu, which is nice because it's filling out an area that looks pretty blank. But, I think that's not too bad progress picking those up and most of the stand. I do have a couple more figures in the ready to go that are real. So they'll get episodes coming up. But the next one, of course, if I'm going to try and have some sort of pattern, is going to have to be some customs. And I've got some pretty cool ones ready to go. I think this has been episode 9. I'm planning just, for the first month or two of the year to just be this, because I've got all of these. I've got some minifigures, like I said, shipping in August, as well as I've got, ones I bought in August that should be shipping this month, and at the start of next month, I'll have a whole bunch that I bought in November shipping. Because, with custom minifigures, like I mentioned, for example, those Luke Skywalkers there would be pre-orders, with Brick Rebellion. But I'm happy I've done this. This is great getting back into it. Episode 9, there we go, that's it done. And I'll see you guys in the next episode. I'm not too sure when, because I'm going to try and have these a little bit more frequent, maybe, with some custom minifigures. See you then.